You probably clicked on this video because you have employees or you're thinking about hiring employees. Now, I'm not here to tell you exactly how you can hire people step by step by step. That's not what this video is. If you are interested in learning how to hire step by step by step, go ahead and check out Levi's course over in the Poop Scoop Millionaire community. I'll include a link down below. I'm getting ready to hire again, so I'm gonna re-watch that course because every time I go to hire, it's like I'm brand new. It's weird. But I want to share with you the experiences that I've personally had throughout my process of hiring over the past 7 years of me being in business. I wanted to make sure I approached this video in a way that was respectful. I'm not here to dog any of the past people that have worked with me. Every single person that I have employed has taught me something, good and bad. And I'm a firm believer in taking my experiences and turning them into something good, because this life is a journey. We are figuring it out as we go, and every experience and person plays an important part in our journey. And my journey starts with my very first hire. It was probably within the first full year of me being in business. I didn't necessarily need to hire yet, but I wanted to leave and go on vacation. I was making really good money and I wanted to spend it, and I was super tired. I was like kind of burnt out. I'll tell you what, that version of Erica didn't even know what burnout was yet. Woo, buddy. But I wanted to go to Punta Cana, so I needed to hire because I didn't want to have to skip services, especially because it was in the summertime, and we can skip services in the fall. We can skip services even in the spring and in the winter, but there's just something about those summer scoops that clients really get upset about when you skip services, and I knew that. So I wanted to have some type of coverage. I found her on Indeed. She had a great attitude. She was cute. She was bubbly. She was younger. She loved animals because she had worked with animals before. And she seemed like she was super interested in this position. And I really enjoyed that she was younger. We were kind of around the same age. But I quickly learned that at this time, which this still might apply, the younger generation has a different outlook on what accountability is. Showing up for work, making sure you start at the time that you're supposed to start. And I'll be honest, I didn't really know what to expect when I first hired, because this was the first time I was ever in any type of like leadership, the leadership of my own business. I knew I just wanted my customers to be taken care of and I wanted them to be happy. But I realized that when you have a later start date, things always happen. There's always issues that seem to happen. And I wanted my technicians, I wanted to start at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. That way we weren't working till late in the day, because something happens after 2 o'clock, you start to slow down, you start to get hot, things start to take longer, traffic is crazy. And something that should have only maybe taken an hour or two ends up taking almost 3 hours, because there's more challenges. There's more people home that are letting their dogs out, so we're having to wait longer. We're having to wait on school buses. And so a later start date was becoming more inconvenient. And this person happened to not be a morning person and had some personal stuff going on. And that's really where the issue was. There was just inconsistencies with work. Even though she had a great attitude and she enjoyed her job, there just wasn't the reliability there that I needed. And what this taught me is, moving forward, I needed to be very upfront about what the reliability looks like. It's not just you come in and you get the jobs done. It's you come in, you get the jobs done with a good attitude. We're gonna have an 8 a.m. start time, and that is the standard. So that led me to my next hire, which he was an older gentleman. He had already retired from his like primary career, and he was looking for like his new career, like the second part of his life. He had been in the military, so he was very like type A personality, followed details to a T. I say be here at 8 o'clock. He was here at 7:58. Like, he was early picking up those keys. And so I had those conversations, and he's like, yes, this is perfect. But here's what I learned. With him being a little bit older, he was a little bit slower. We did have quality issues, but when I did bring it to his attention, he was very receptive of the feedback, which was amazing. How I had my prices set up, I had my prices set up for myself. I was quick, I was fast, I was efficient. I didn't take lunches, I didn't take breaks. So my pricing didn't allow for longer scoop times. So I was noticing that payroll was just getting, for me at that time, out of control compared to what I was charging. And I didn't have the confidence enough yet to start charging more or to increase my current customers' rates. That was blowing my mind. I'm like, oh no. I was also realizing that with his personality type, he listened, he showed up promptly, but he wasn't a free thinker. I gave free thinking, but he would always want to check in with me to make sure it was okay, and I became the bottleneck. And that was a bit of an issue. Him and I had had some conversations about his position, and he loved what he did, and because of his age and he was starting to get a sore back and a sore wrist, I was thinking maybe we'll transition him into a more of an admin role, something in the office. But what I quickly learned is I didn't have the resources or the time and money to be able to train somebody that didn't have computer skills. And once we got into the office and we started going through things, I realized that I wasn't equipped to train him the way that I needed to because I didn't even know how to explain what I was doing at this time. I eventually had to let him go because he got into an accident, he rear-ended somebody, and he was at fault. My next hire was the tall guy. This guy was so tall, like so tall, that he would put his coffee cup on the top of my truck because he was just so tall. Super nice, super tall. And I hired him during the winter time. And the winter time here, there's snow on the ground. It's a lot different scooping. So when spring rush came, it was chaos. It was crazy. I will say that he probably didn't get the leadership and the mentorship that he probably needed. I was like, just go out and scoop. I got a lot of stuff going on. So there was a lot of client feedback that they were very unhappy. He was missing piles, and he eventually got accused of leaving a gate open, and a mixture of his speed, sometimes not being able to come into work, having to leave early, the complaints that I was getting, and the fact that he got accused of leaving a gate open and it was his word against the customer's word. I let him go, and that was very quickly. I want to say I ended up letting him go within like the first 3 months. But I did learn something very valuable here. Closed gate photos. I had a conversation with John Noonan, and John told me about the closed gate photos. I implemented those right away because I was never going to be blamed again for dogs getting let out. And sometimes I wonder if the visibility issues was because he was so tall. Like, can you see down that far? My next one, which was really tough, it was like my best friend employee, okay? She really had a special place in my heart, and she was with me for a very long time. Like, I confided in her, she confided in me, I was there for her. She was a rock star. Anything I needed for her to do, she would do it. She would go above and beyond. She would take care of complaints and take care of issues without me even having to do it. Like, I really thought that she was gonna be with me long term. And through the extent of our relationship, some things started to change. There were some issues. I was very forgiving and maybe more lenient than I should have at a business aspect of it, but because I cared about her so much and things were kind of muddy, it was difficult. It was difficult for me to set boundaries. And what I learned from my relationship with her was when you have somebody that's a rock star and then you start to see things change in them, it's really important to kind of get ahead of it, figure out what's going on, figure out how you can help them. And if you can't help them and you just see them starting to decline to where it's whatever's going on in their personal life is now affecting work, I will never allow that to happen again, because what ended up happening is within that last 6 months of her employment, 2 vehicle crashes, like totals, happened. I believe there was a dog bite that happened, complaints, there were reliability issues, because there's just a lot of stuff going on personally. And I eventually had to let said person go when the second vehicle total happened because my insurance was going to drop me. I couldn't afford to keep her, and it was an absolute mess. Not only was I devastated business-wise, but like personally I was devastated because she had become almost one of my very good friends. I talk to her every single day and we confided in each other, and having to have that difficult conversation with her as a business owner was very tough. And I haven't talked to her since I let her go, and I will forever remember that day. And there's times when I'm working and situations happen, I think to myself, like, I still want to like text her or like send her a meme, or I'm like, oh, I should call her. Like, I do miss her. Then I had a personality fit. This guy, he was fun. I enjoyed him. This is when I started learning about personalities, and I started doing the DISC test. DISC. If you don't know about it, go ahead and check it out. I'm a DI, so I have a dominant personality, but I'm also I, so I'm very chatty, very charismatic. That's why I do these videos, because I love to connect with people. But the I makes it very difficult to pay attention, to focus, and complete things in its entirety. And this particular hire, charismatic, was interested, was super gassed up, smile on his face, positive attitude, had his own vehicle, which was huge, really hard to find, a license. I believe he was an SI, and even though he had attention to detail, that I just really made it to where he just couldn't focus. And he was getting a nice amount of complaints, and I went and scooped a yard with him. And he scooped it, and I don't know, maybe he was nervous because I was there, but I went and walked it with him, and I just found so much poop. And I looked at him, I said, do you think that you're cut out for this position? And he said, I don't think so. I said, I don't think so either. And I said, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna finish scooping this yard, and we're gonna go back to the office, and we're going to close out and kind of go our separate ways. And he said, okay. So that's what I did. I scooped it, and we went back to the office, which was in my garage, and he gave me my stuff. I said, you don't have to take your shirt off. You can just throw it away, or you can mail it back to me. And we went our separate ways, and it was amicable. You know, I explained to him why. He understood. He realized he wasn't a good fit for the position. He thanked me for the opportunity, and I run into him and his wife quite frequently at Meijer, which is hilarious. And I chat with them, and everything's really good. He seems like he's doing quite well. And what I learned from him was just have the conversation. Have a respectful conversation, see where they're at, what they're thinking, because you could be thinking that they're not a good fit, and they could be thinking the same thing, but they're too afraid to say something. And so that's why I'm glad that I brought it up to him. And he was very receptive to it and respectful. My other hire was my neighbor. She loves dogs, and she wanted to work part-time, so I hired her. We both realized that she was not a good fit because she didn't have the eyes for it, and she was like, I'm not a good fit for this position. So I quit, and I said, I understand. So we went our separate ways. Very amicable. And throughout the years, I've had temporary hires where I just tell them, hey, this is just gonna be temporary work through spring rush, and then I'll let you know when I no longer need you. And then let me know if you like it. If you wanna come back, I can have you on as call, or you can come back for spring rush. So overall, my experiences have been quite pleasant when we've went our separate ways. It was just the process of leading up to it that was quite difficult, with like the complaint issues and everything that was kind of going on. I've luckily always hired people that have taken feedback very well, because I explained that to them through the training process and say, listen, this job can be very difficult. We're scooping a lot of yards, and there's a lot of error. There's a lot of room for error. So I need for you to be receptive to feedback, because when I present it to you, we have to be able to work through this. And if you get defensive when I have a conversation with you, that is not going to go very well. So I've been very, very grateful that within the 7 years, I've never raised my voice at an employee before. I've never gotten into an argument with an employee. Call me lucky, or maybe I do a good job with interviewing for personality. I don't know. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But what I want you to do is if you are looking to hire and you're not really too sure what to do, go ahead over to the Poop Scoop Millionaire community. Check it out. There's over 800 like-minded individuals and scoopers in that community. And Levi actually has his course built out on how to hire. I'm getting a crazy amount of leads coming in right now. So I know that I'm going to need to get at least a part-time technician, if not a full-time technician, in very soon. So I will be in that course as well. So click the link down below. And don't forget to watch one of these other videos. There's so much value.